Imagine sitting alone at your own sister's wedding, invisible among hundreds of guests, while everyone celebrates a love you helped build but can never afford for yourself. That's where Elena found herself, 23, wearing a borrowed dress, watching her sister marry into the kind of wealth that felt like a different universe. She didn't know that across that glittering ballroom, someone was watching her, someone who saw exactly what no one else did. Stay with me until the end. This story will break your heart before it heals it. And if you've ever felt invisible in a room full of people, hit like and subscribe, because this one's for you. The chandeliers above the Plaza Hotel ballroom threw golden light across 500 faces, all of them smiling, laughing, toasting. Elena sat at table 17, the one tucked behind a marble column near the kitchen doors, where the music was muffled and the laughter felt distant. Her sister Sophia looked radiant in ivory silk, her hand resting on her new husband's arm like she'd always belonged there. Maybe she had. Sophia had always been the beautiful one, the confident one, the one who knew how to laugh at rich men's jokes and make them feel clever. Elena had helped pay for Sophia's college with double shifts at the diner. She'd hemmed that wedding dress by hand because the alterations cost $800. She'd addressed every cream-colored envelope because Sophia's calligraphy wasn't good enough. And now she sat alone, picking at overpriced salmon, wearing a dress she'd return tomorrow. "You look like you're at a funeral, not a wedding." The voice came from behind her, low, smooth American. Elena turned. He stood there in a midnight blue suit that probably cost more than her annual rent, hands in his pockets, expression unreadable. Dark hair pushed back, strong jawline, eyes that looked almost black in the dim light. He wasn't classically handsome, his face was too sharp for that, too intense, but there was something magnetic about him, something that made her forget to breathe for a second. "I'm fine," she said quietly, turning back to her plate. He didn't leave. Instead, he pulled out the empty chair beside her and sat down, uninvited. "You're Sophia's sister." It wasn't a question. Elena glanced at him. "How did you know? You have the same eyes, but yours are sadder." He tilted his head slightly. "I'm Nathaniel. Nathan. Elena. I know." Something in the way he said it made her pulse quicken, like he'd been looking for her specifically. "Are you a friend of the groom?" she asked, because silence felt dangerous with him sitting this close. "Business associate. We're building a hotel in São Paulo together." He leaned back in his chair, studying her. "You don't want to be here." "That's not true. You're sitting behind a column at your own sister's wedding. Either you don't want to be seen or you don't want to see." His voice was gentle, but his eyes were sharp. "Which is it?" Eleanor's throat tightened. "Why do you care?" "Because I've been watching you for the last hour, and you haven't smiled once. Not even when your sister cut the cake. Not even when your mother cried during the toast." He paused. "That's not indifference. That's pain." She looked away, heat rising in her cheeks. "You don't know anything about me." "No, but I'd like to." The words hung between them, simple and devastating. Elena's hands trembled slightly. She folded them in her lap. "I should dance with me." "What?" Nathan stood, extending his hand. The band had shifted to something slow, something that made the lights feel softer, the room feel smaller. "One dance," he said. "Then I'll leave you alone if you want." She should have said no. She should have stayed hidden behind her columns, safe in her invisibility. But something in his eyes, something lonely, Something that matched the ache in her chest made her take his hand. His palm was warm, calloused in a way that surprised her. Men like him weren't supposed to have rough hands. He led her onto the floor away from the crowd, to a corner where the light was amber and forgiving. His hand settled on her waist, respectful, careful. They moved slowly, and Elena realized she'd forgotten how to do this, how to let someone hold her, how to exist in a moment that wasn't about survival or sacrifice. "You helped pay for this wedding," Nathan said quietly. Elena's breath caught. "How?" "Your mother mentioned it. She was bragging to someone at the bar about how dedicated you are, how you work 2 jobs so Sophia could have everything." His thumb brushed her waist, barely perceptible. She didn't say it like she was grateful. She said it like it was expected. Tears burned behind Elena's eyes. She blinked them back hard. "They're my family. Family shouldn't make you feel like this." "Like what?" "Like you're not enough." The words cracked something open in her chest. She pulled back slightly, but Nathan didn't let go. "I don't know you," she whispered. "Then let me change that." His voice dropped lower, intimate. "Have dinner with me tomorrow." "I can't." "Why not?" "Because you're—" She gestured vaguely at him, at the ballroom, at the world he clearly inhabited. "And I'm—" "What? Human? Beautiful? The only real person in this entire room?" Her breath shattered. "Don't." "Don't what?" "Don't say things you don't mean." Nathan stopped moving. The music continued around them, but they stood still, his hand still on her waist, her hand still in his. "Elena." He said her name like a prayer, like a promise. "I came to this wedding because I had to. I was going to leave after the ceremony, but then I saw you sitting alone, looking like your heart was breaking, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't stop watching you. I couldn't stop wondering what kind of family makes someone like you feel invisible. Stop. I haven't felt curious about another person in 5 years. Do you understand what that means?" She shook her head, overwhelmed. "It means you're rare. It means I want to know everything. Why you're sad, what makes you laugh, what you dream about when no one's watching." He leaned closer, his voice barely audible. "Be mine, even just for one evening. Let me prove that someone sees you." The ballroom spun. The music swelled. Somewhere across the room, Sophia laughed, bright and careless. Elena looked up into Nathan's eyes, dark, serious, impossibly focused on her, and felt the ground shift beneath her feet. "One dinner," she heard herself say. Nathan's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Relief, hope. "Tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I'll send a car." "I don't—" "Please." That single word, quiet and raw, undid her. "Okay." His hand tightened on her waist, just for a second. Then he stepped back, releasing her gently like she was something fragile. "Thank you," he said. Before she could respond, he turned and walked away, disappearing into the crowd of tailored suits and champagne flutes. Eleanor stood alone on the edge of the dance floor, her heart racing, her hands still warm from his touch. She didn't know that tomorrow would change everything. She didn't know that Nathan Ellis wasn't just wealthy, he was one of the 10 richest men in America. And she didn't know that falling in love with him would mean choosing between the family that never saw her and the man who couldn't look away. But in that moment, standing in borrowed heels with tears in her eyes and hope in her chest, Elena made a choice. She decided to be seen. Elena didn't go to help Sophia move. She turned off her phone and spent the day walking through Central Park, sitting on benches, watching strangers live their lives. Couples holding hands, families laughing, people who looked like they'd never had to choose between their own happiness and someone else's expectations. By the time she got home, her phone had 17 missed calls. She listened to the voicemails in her tiny kitchen, hands shaking. Her mother's voice, sharp with disappointment. "Eleanor, where are you? Your sister needed you today. This is unacceptable." Sophia, confused more than angry. "Mom says you didn't show up. Are you okay? Call me." Then her mother again, colder this time. "I don't know what's gotten into you, but this selfishness needs to stop. Family comes first. Always." Eleanor deleted them all. She looked around her apartment. The water stain on the ceiling she couldn't afford to fix, the second-hand furniture, the stack of bills on the counter. Everything she'd built alone while everyone else built their dreams on her back. Her phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello? It's me." Nathan's voice sent warmth through her chest. "How did you get my number?" "You gave it to my driver yesterday, in case of emergencies." A pause. This felt like an emergency. "I'm fine." "You're lying." She sat down on her worn couch, suddenly exhausted. "How do you know?" "Because I've been thinking about you all day, and I know you didn't go help your sister, and I know your family is probably punishing you for it, and I know you're sitting there wondering if you made the right choice." His voice softened. "Did you?" "I don't know." "Elena, listen to me. You're allowed to want things for yourself. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to exist without apologizing for it." Tears burned her eyes. "It doesn't feel that way." "I know, but it's true." Silence then. "I'm coming back tomorrow instead of Wednesday. Have dinner with me. Nathan, please. I need to see you." Something in his voice, raw, almost desperate, made her say yes. He picked her up himself this time, driving a black Audi that probably cost more than her lifetime earnings. But he didn't take her to another expensive restaurant or back to his penthouse. He drove north out of the city until the buildings gave way to trees and the sky opened up above them. They stopped at a small diner off the highway, the kind with red vinyl booths and a waitress who called everyone honey. "This is where I grew up," Nathan said as they slid into a booth. "Not this exact diner, but places like it. Before the money, before everything changed." Eleanor looked at him surprised. "I thought that I was born rich?" He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "My father was a construction worker. My mother cleaned houses. I wore my cousin's hand-me-downs until I was 16. What happened? I got a scholarship to MIT, studied architecture and business, started designing hotels that felt like home instead of status symbols. Turns out people wanted that." He stirred his coffee absently. "Made my first million by 25, first billion by 32. How old are you now?" 35. He looked at her. "And until 4 days ago, I couldn't remember why any of it mattered." The waitress brought pie, apple warm with ice cream melting on top. Nathan pushed his plate toward her. "Try it." "I can get my own?" "I want to watch you taste it." Something about the way he said it made heat rise in her cheeks. She took a bite and he watched her like it was the most important thing he'd seen all day. "Good?" he asked. "Perfect. That's how you looked yesterday morning. On my balcony drinking coffee with the sun on your face." His voice dropped. "Perfect." Elena set down her fork, throat tight. "Why are you doing this?" "Doing what?" "Making me feel like I matter." because you do matter. He reached across the table, taking her hand. And I think part of you has forgotten that. I think you've spent so long being what everyone needs that you've forgotten you're allowed to be wanted, not for what you can give, just for who you are. You don't even know who I am. Then let me learn. They sat in that diner for 3 hours talking about everything, her childhood in Brazil before they moved to New York, his memories of growing up poor in Ohio, the dreams they'd both given up on, the ones they were afraid to want. I wanted to be a teacher, Elena admitted, work with kids, but college was too expensive and Sophia needed... What would you teach? Art, maybe. Or literature. Something that helps people see beauty in things. She looked down. Sounds stupid. It sounds like the best thing I've heard all week. Nathan squeezed her hand. What if you went back to school? I can't afford... What if money wasn't an issue? Elena pulled her hand back. No. Elena, I'm not a charity case. That's not what I know what this looks like. Her voice shook. Poor girl meets rich man and he fixes all her problems with money. That's not what I want. What do you want? I want someone to see me, not my problems. Not what I need fixed, just me. Nathan was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood, threw cash on the table, and held out his hand. Come with me. He drove them to a beach, empty, windswept, the ocean dark under a clouded sky. They walked along the shore, shoes in hand, cold water rushing over their feet. My wife left me 3 years ago, Nathan said suddenly. Elena stopped walking. We were married for 4 years, met in college before the money. I thought... He laughed bitterly. I thought she loved me, but when the business took off, when the attention came, when there were always people wanting things from me, she changed. Or maybe I finally saw who she really was. What happened? She had an affair with one of my business partners. Not because she loved him, because she was bored, because I was always working, always building, and she wanted excitement. He picked up a smooth stone, threw it into the waves. When I found out, she said it was my fault. That money had made me cold, distant. That's not fair. Maybe it was true. He turned to face her. I threw myself into work after that, stopped letting people in, decided it was easier to be alone than to risk trusting someone again. So what changed? You. He stepped closer. You. Sitting alone at that wedding, looking like your heart was breaking. And I saw myself. The loneliness. The feeling that maybe you'd never be enough for the people who were supposed to love you. His hand cupped her face. I don't want to fix your problems, Elena. I want to know what it feels like to be with someone who's real, who doesn't want anything from me except this, standing on a beach at midnight, talking about things that hurt. Elena's breath caught. I'm scared, she whispered. Of what? Of this, of you, of wanting something this much. Me too. He kissed her then, urgent, desperate, like he was trying to prove something, like he was afraid she'd disappear if he let go. The wind whipped around them, cold and sharp, but Elena felt nothing except his hands in her hair, his mouth on hers, the way her entire body came alive under his touch. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Nathan pressed his forehead to hers. Stay with me tonight, he said. For real this time. No interruptions, no phones, just us. She should have been careful, should have protected herself. But standing there with the ocean crashing behind them and his arms around her, Elena realized something terrifying. She was already falling, and she didn't want to stop. "Yes," she breathed. Nathan's eyes darkened. He kissed her again, softer this time, like a promise. Then he took her hand and led her back to the car, back toward the city, back toward something neither of them could name, but both of them desperately needed. Eleanor didn't check her phone. She didn't think about her mother's disappointment or Sophia's confusion. For the first time in her life, she chose herself, and it felt like flying. Elena woke up tangled in Nathan's sheets, his arm around her waist, morning light painting everything gold. For a moment, she let herself feel it, the warmth of his skin, the steady rhythm of his breathing, the way his hand rested on her hip like she belonged there. Then reality crashed back. Her phone, forgotten on the nightstand, lit up with notifications. 23 missed calls, 47 text messages. Nathan stirred behind her, pulling her closer. "Don't," he murmured against her neck. "Not yet." But she was already reaching for it. The messages were brutal. Her mother, "Your sister is crying. You've humiliated this entire family." Sophia, "Mom says you're with some man." "Elena, what's going on? This isn't like you." Her aunt, "Your mother is heartbroken. How could you abandon your family like this?" Then one from her mother that made her stomach drop. "If you don't come home today and apologize, don't bother coming home at all." Nathan sat up, reading over her shoulder. His jaw tightened. "She's bluffing. You don't know that. Eleanor, look at me." He turned her to face him. "She's trying to control you. That's what this is. She knows she's losing her grip, so she's threatening you. She's my mother. And she's manipulating you." His voice was gentle but firm. "Real love doesn't come with ultimatums." Elena stood, gathering her clothes from the floor, hands shaking. "I have to go." "Don't." "Nathan." "Stay, please." He caught her wrist. "Just for today. Let her sit with her anger. Let her realize you're not going to come running anymore. You don't understand. I understand perfectly." His eyes were dark, intense. "You're terrified that if you stop giving, they'll stop loving you. But Elena, if their love requires your suffering, it's not love." The truth of it hit her like cold water. She pulled away, finished dressing. "I need time to think." "About what?" "About all of this. About us." She gestured between them. "This is happening too fast. I barely know you. You know me better than anyone has in years. That's not the same as really knowing someone." Her voice cracked. "I've spent my whole life making impulsive decisions, trying to make other people happy. I won't do that with you too." Nathan stood, ran a hand through his hair. When he looked at her again, something had shuttered in his expression. "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying I need space, time to figure out what I want without my mother screaming in one ear and you in the other." "I'm not screaming. I'm asking you to choose yourself." "No, you're asking me to choose you." The words came out sharper than she intended. "And maybe that's the same thing right now, but I can't think clearly when you're looking at me like that." "Like what?" "Like I'm the answer to everything. Like you need me." She grabbed her purse. "I can't be someone's salvation, Nathan. I've been doing that my whole life and I'm drowning." The silence that followed was devastating. Nathan's face went carefully blank, the expression of someone who'd learned how to hide pain behind walls. "You're right," he said quietly. "I'm sorry." I didn't mean to. He stopped. Take whatever time you need. Elena wanted to cross the room, take it back, kiss him until neither of them could remember why this felt impossible. Instead, she said, "Thank you," and walked out. She went home to Queens. Her mother was waiting in the living room, arms crossed, face hard. 3 days, she said. 3 days you ignored us, ignored your sister, ignored your family. I needed time. Time for what? To be with some man you just met? Her mother stood, voice rising. Do you know what people are saying? That you've lost your mind, that you're throwing your life away for some American who'll use you and leave you. You don't know anything about him. I know men like that don't end up with girls like you. The words were meant to wound, and they did. You think you're special? You think he really cares about you? He'll get bored, Elena. And then where will you be? Alone because you burned every bridge to your real family. My real family? Elena's voice shook. My real family takes and takes and never says thank you. My real family makes me feel guilty for wanting anything for myself. We needed you. No. You wanted free labor. There's a difference. Her mother's hand flew up, not to hit, but close enough that Elena flinched. The moment hung between them, terrible and revealing. Get out, her mother said, voice ice. If you can't be the daughter this family needs, then don't be our daughter at all. Elena felt something inside her chest crack open, not with pain, but with unexpected freedom. Okay, she heard herself say. Her mother blinked. What? Okay, I'll go. Elena grabbed her coat. I've spent 23 years trying to earn your love. I'm done. Elena! But she was already walking toward the door. Sophia appeared in the hallway, eyes wide. Elena, wait. Did you even notice I was gone? Elena asked. At your wedding. Did you notice I was sitting alone? That I looked miserable? Sophia's silence was answer enough. That's what I thought. Elena opened the door. Congratulations on your marriage. I hope you're very happy. She left before anyone could see her cry. She went to a hotel, nothing fancy, just a small place in Brooklyn where she could afford a week while she figured things out. She didn't call Nathan. She didn't call anyone. She sat on the edge of the bed and let herself fall apart. Big, ugly sobs that shook her whole body, mourning not the family she'd lost, but the illusion she'd been clinging to that they'd ever really loved her the way she needed. Her phone rang. Nathan. She let it go to voicemail. He called again. And again. Finally, she answered. I'm okay, she said before he could speak. Where are you? Somewhere safe. Elena, I meant what I said. I need time. Her voice was hoarse from crying. Please. A long pause, then, okay, but I'm here whenever you're ready if you're ready. Thank you. She hung up before he could say anything else. 2 weeks passed. Elena found a new apartment, tiny but hers, got extra shifts at the diner, started looking into online classes she could actually afford. She didn't hear from her family, didn't reach out. The silence was painful and healing in equal measure. Nathan texted once, still here. No pressure. Just wanted you to know. She didn't respond. Couldn't, because responding meant deciding, and she didn't trust herself yet. Then one morning, Sophia showed up at the diner during Elena's shift. She looked thinner, tired. Her wedding ring caught the fluorescent light. Can we talk? Sophia asked. Elena poured coffee with shaking hands. I'm working. 5 minutes, please. They sat in a back booth, and Sophia stared at her hands. Mom's telling everyone you had a breakdown, she finally said. That you're sick, that the American manipulated you. And you believe her? No. Sophia looked up, eyes red. I think you finally stood up for yourself, and none of us knew how to handle it. Elena's throat tightened. I'm sorry, Sophia continued, for everything. For not noticing you at the wedding. For letting you sacrifice everything while I took it all for granted. For... Her voice broke. For not being a sister to you. Why are you here? Because I miss you. And because you were right. Sophia wiped her eyes. I've been married 3 weeks and I'm already miserable. My husband works all the time. His family treats me like I'm not good enough. And I realized, you tried to warn me. You tried to tell me that marrying for money wouldn't make me happy. But I didn't listen. Sophia, I don't want your help. I just want my sister back. She reached across the table. Please, can we start over? Eleanor looked at Sophia, really looked at her, and saw something she'd never noticed before. Her sister was just as lost as she was, just as desperate to be loved, just as scared of being alone. I can't go back to how things were, Elena said carefully. I can't be the person who fixes everything for everyone else. I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking, can we be sisters? Real ones, the kind who actually talk and support each other instead of just taking. Eleanor thought about Nathan, waiting for her to decide, about the life she was building alone, about how much easier it would be to keep everyone at arm's length. But maybe that wasn't the answer either. Maybe the answer was learning to love people without losing herself. Yes, Elena said softly. We can try. Sophia smiled, small, tentative, real. And for the first time, Elena saw a glimmer of hope that maybe not all of her family was lost, just most of it. That night, Elena finally called Nathan. He answered on the first ring. Hi, she said. Hi. His voice was careful, guarded. How are you? Better. Still figuring things out. She took a breath. Can I see you? Silence. Then, are you sure? No, but I want to try. Okay. She heard something shift in his voice, hope, carefully contained. When? Tomorrow. I'll be there. Eleanor hung up, heart racing. She didn't know if this would work. Didn't know if she could love someone without sacrificing herself. But for the first time in her life, she was willing to find out. Nathan met her at a quiet coffee shop in the West Village, neutral territory, away from his world and hers. He looked different, tired, the kind of exhaustion that came from waiting and not knowing. You look good, he said as she sat down. You look terrible. A small smile. Honest as always. They ordered coffee, neither of them touched. I'm sorry, Eleanor said, for disappearing like that. Don't apologize. You needed space. I respect that. He paused. Did you find what you were looking for? I don't know, maybe. She wrapped her hands around her cup. I cut ties with my mother. My sister and I are trying to rebuild something real. I got my own apartment, started looking at community college classes. That's good, really good. And I realized something. She looked up at him. I was terrified of you. Of me? Of how much I felt, how fast it happened, how badly I wanted to just fall into you and let you fix everything. Her voice steadied. But that wouldn't be fair to either of us. Nathan nodded slowly. So where does that leave us? I don't know. That's why I'm here. She took a breath. Tell me the truth. What do you want from me? Honestly? He leaned forward. Everything. I want to know what you look like when you first wake up. I want to hear about your terrible shifts at the diner. I want to be the person you call when something funny happens. I want... He stopped, jaw tight. I want to matter to you the way you matter to me. You do matter, but you're afraid. Yes. Of what? Of losing myself again. Of becoming someone who only exists in relation to you. She held his gaze. I've done that my whole life with my family. I can't do it in a relationship too. Then don't. His voice was firm. Keep your apartment. Take your classes. Work your shifts. Build your life. I'm not asking you to give anything up. I'm asking to be part of it. Not all of it. Just part. And what if it doesn't work? Then it doesn't work, but at least we tried. He reached across the table, palm up, waiting. I'm not asking for promises, Elena. I'm asking for a chance. She looked at his hand, strong, open, patient. Then she took it. Okay, she whispered. Let's try. They started slow. Nathan took her to museums on her days off. She introduced him to her favorite bodega, where the owner gave them free coffee and called her Mija. They walked through Brooklyn at sunset, talking about everything and nothing. He never pushed, never demanded more than she could give. And slowly, carefully, Eleanor let herself fall. 1 month in, Nathan showed up at the diner at closing time. Come with me, he said. I want to show you something. He drove them to a building in Harlem, old brick, scaffolding wrapped around it. I bought this last week, he said. It was a school in the 1950s, closed down 20 years ago. Why did you buy it? Because I'm reopening it, he turned to her. A community center, free art classes, music, theater, after-school programs for kids who can't afford anything else. Elena stared at him. Nathan, you said you wanted to teach, to help people see beauty. His eyes were bright. So teach here. Design the whole art program however you want. I'll fund it. You run it. I can't accept. It's not charity. It's a job with a salary, benefits, everything legitimate. He stepped closer. I'm not trying to save you, Elena. I'm trying to build something good. And I want you there because you're the most passionate person I know about making art accessible. She looked at the building, then back at him. Why are you really doing this? Because watching you light up when you talk about teaching, that's worth more than any hotel I'll ever build. His voice dropped. And because I want to be the kind of man who uses what he has to give people chances. The way no one gave me chances until I fought for them. Elena felt tears prick her eyes. When do I start? Nathan's smile was pure sunlight. Whenever you want. 3 months later, the center opened. Elena stood in a classroom full of kids, paint-splattered, laughing, creating, and felt something she'd never felt before. Purpose that was hers. Joy that wasn't borrowed. A life that felt real. Nathan appeared in the doorway, leaning against the frame, watching her with that expression she'd come to crave, like she was the most remarkable thing he'd ever seen. After class, they sat in the empty studio, afternoon light streaming through tall windows. I need to tell you something, Nathan said. Her heart stuttered. Okay. I'm falling in love with you. He said it simply, directly. Actually, I think I already have. And I know we agreed to go slow, and I'm not asking you to say it back. I needed you to know. Elena's breath caught. She thought about the girl who sat alone at a wedding 3 months ago, invisible and breaking. She thought about how far she'd come, the boundaries she'd set, the life she'd built, the person she was becoming. And she realized something terrifying and beautiful. She wasn't afraid anymore. "I love you too," she said. Nathan froze. "You mean it?" "Yes." She moved closer, cupping his face. "I love you not because you saved me, not because of what you can give me, but because you see me, really see me, and you make me want to be brave." He kissed her then, deep, claiming, full of everything they'd both been holding back. When they broke apart, both breathless, Nathan pressed his forehead to hers. "Move in with me," he whispered. "Nathan, not to my penthouse. Somewhere new, somewhere we choose together, build together." His hands slid into her hair. "I don't want to spend another night without you." She should have been cautious, should have said it was too soon. But standing there in the golden light, his arms around her, Elena realized something. Sometimes love wasn't about being careful. Sometimes it was about being brave enough to trust yourself, to trust someone else, to believe that wanting something didn't mean losing yourself. "Yes," she breathed. Nathan's eyes blazed. He lifted her, spun her, kissed her, until they were both laughing and crying and holding each other like they'd never let go. Outside, the city hummed with life, and inside, 2 people who'd been lonely for so long finally found home, not in a place, in each other. They found an apartment in Brooklyn, brownstone with high ceilings, morning light, a small garden out back. It wasn't as grand as Nathan's penthouse, but it felt like them. Elena kept teaching. Nathan split his time between projects and coming home early just to watch her grade papers at the kitchen table. They learned each other slowly, how she took her coffee, how he couldn't sleep without touching her, the way they both woke up reaching for each other in the dark. It was perfect, until it wasn't. 6 months after moving in together, Elena's phone rang at midnight. Sophia, crying. "He's cheating on me," she sobbed. "I found texts, pictures. Elena, I don't know what to do." Nathan stirred beside her. "Everything okay?" Elena mouthed "my sister" and slipped out of bed, taking the call to the living room. She talked Sophia down for 2 hours, listened, advised, held space for her pain. When she finally came back to bed, Nathan was awake, watching her. "Is she okay?" "No, but she will be." Elena crawled under the covers, exhausted. "You're a good sister." "I'm trying to be, without losing myself this time." He pulled her close. "You're doing it right." But the calls kept coming. Sophia left her husband, needed help packing, needed a place to stay, needed someone to talk to at 3 a.m. when the loneliness felt unbearable. Elena showed up, every time, but she also came home, set boundaries, said no when she needed to. And Nathan never complained, never made her choose, until the night everything changed. Elena came home to find Nathan in the kitchen staring at his laptop, face pale. "What's wrong?" He looked up, something careful in his expression. "Sit down." Her stomach dropped. "Nathan, my ex-wife is writing a book." His voice was flat. "About our marriage, about me." "What?" "Her publisher sent me an advance copy. Professional courtesy, apparently." He laughed bitterly. It's full of lies, Elena. She's painting me as this cold, controlling billionaire who destroyed her, claiming I monitored her every move, isolated her from friends, used my money to manipulate her. That's insane. Anyone who knows you, no one knows me. That's the problem. He stood, pacing. To the world, I'm just another rich guy, and she's the beautiful woman who escaped. It's a perfect narrative. Can you sue? My lawyers say it's complicated. She's careful, phrases everything as her perspective, her feelings, technically not defamation. He stopped, looking at her. But, Elena, this is going to be everywhere. Press, social media. People are going to believe her. Let them. We know the truth. Do we? Something dark flickered in his eyes. You've known me less than a year. What if she's right? What if I am controlling and you just haven't seen it yet? Stop. I pushed you to leave your family, to take a job I created, to move in with me. Nathan. Elena crossed to him, taking his face in her hands. You didn't push me. You gave me space to choose. There's a difference. You don't know that. Maybe I've been manipulating you this whole time and... She kissed him, hard, cutting off the spiral. When she pulled back, his eyes were wet. I know you, she said firmly. I know the man who opens doors quietly so he doesn't wake me, who remembers every story I tell him about my students, who cries at sad movies and pretends he doesn't, who loves so fiercely he's terrified of it. She pressed her forehead to his. Your ex is lying because she's bitter. Don't let her poison what we have. Nathan's arms came around her, holding tight. I'm scared, he whispered, of losing you, of you seeing what she writes and wondering if it's true. I'm not going anywhere. Promise? Promise. The book came out 3 weeks later. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Headlines everywhere. Billionaire's ex-wife reveals emotional abuse. Nathan Ellis, tech mogul or control freak. Behind closed doors, one woman's escape from wealth and manipulation. Elena watched Nathan withdraw, quieter, distant, spending long hours at the office. She tried reaching him. He smiled, said he was fine, kissed her forehead, but she knew better. One night she found him on their bedroom floor, head in his hands. Talk to me, she said, sitting beside him. I can't. Yes, you can. Elena, his voice broke. What if she's right? What if I am broken? What if everyone who gets close to me ends up hurt? I'm not hurt. Not yet. Nathan, look at me. He did, finally, and the pain in his eyes was devastating. You think you're like her book describes, Elena said slowly, but you're not. You know how I know? How? Because controlling people don't ask permission. They don't respect boundaries. They don't spend 6 months letting someone figure out what they want before even saying I love you. She took his hand. Your ex is rewriting history because she can't accept that she's the one who betrayed you. But I was there. I saw how careful you were with me, how patient. I just keep thinking, what if you leave? What if you realize I'm not worth it? Worth what? The mess, the headlines, the people who'll judge you for being with me. Elena's chest ached. You think I care what strangers think? You should. Your students' parents are already asking questions. I heard them at the center last week. His jaw tightened. They're wondering if you're with me for money, if I'm controlling the program, if I'm too stupid to know my own mind. He flinched. That's what you're really afraid of, Elena continued. Not that I'll leave, that I'll prove them right, that I'm just another woman you manipulated. Aren't you? The question hung between them, ugly and raw. Elena stood, walked to the window. looked out at Brooklyn at night, their neighborhood, their life. "I'm going to say this once," she said quietly, "and I need you to hear me. Okay, I chose you, not your money, not your gifts. You." She turned to face him. "And if you can't believe that, if you're going to let your ex-wife's lies destroy your ability to trust what we have, then maybe she's already won." Nathan stared at her, something breaking behind his eyes. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I don't want sorry. I want you to fight. For us. For yourself." She crossed to him, knelt down. "I love you, but I can't be the only one who believes this is real." "I do believe it. Then prove it. Stop hiding. Stop pulling away." She took his face in her hands. "Let me love you, Nathan. All of you, even the scared parts." He kissed her then, desperate, clinging, like she was the only thing keeping him anchored. "I love you," he said against her mouth. "God, Elena, I love you so much." "I know." "How?" "Because you let me see you break, and you're still here." They held each other on the bedroom floor, and Elena felt something shift. Not a resolution, but a choice. To keep choosing each other, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. The next morning, Nathan published a statement. Short, dignified, honest. "My marriage ended because of betrayal, not abuse. I won't engage in a public battle over the past, but I will say this. I've learned what real love looks like. It's patient, it's respectful, it's two people choosing each other every day. I'm grateful to have found that." He didn't mention Elena by name, but everyone knew. The media frenzy intensified for a week. Then slowly, it faded. Other scandals, other stories, and Nathan and Elena kept living, teaching, building, loving. Not perfectly, but real. 1 year later, Elena stood in the community center's main gallery, surrounded by her students' artwork. The walls blazed with color, paintings, drawings, sculptures, stories told by kids who'd finally found a voice. Nathan appeared beside her, sliding an arm around her waist. "You did this," he said softly. "We did this." "No." He turned her to face him. "This is yours. I just gave you the space. You filled it with magic." She smiled, leaning into him. "Still taking credit for the space, though. Someone has to pay the heating bill." They laughed, and Elena marveled at how normal this had become, the ease between them, the way they fit. It hadn't been smooth. There were hard days. Moments when Nathan's past haunted him. Times when Elena's family pulled at her, demanding attention she couldn't always give. But they kept choosing each other, kept showing up, kept believing. Sophia appeared across the room, waving. She'd started volunteering at the center, teaching dance to teenagers. Her divorce had finalized 6 months ago, and she looked lighter now, more herself. "Your sister's good with them," Nathan observed. "Yeah, she is." Eleanor watched Sophia laughing with a group of girls. "We're still figuring out how to be sisters, but it's getting easier." "And your mother?" Eleanor's chest tightened. "Still won't talk to me. Tells people I abandoned the family for money." "Does that hurt?" "Sometimes." "But less than staying would have." She looked up at him. "I made the right choice." Nathan kissed her forehead. "Yeah, you did." That night, they walked home through Brooklyn, hand in hand, the spring air warm around them. "I have something for you," Nathan said as they reached their building. "It's not my birthday." "I know." He led her up to their apartment, then out to the small garden behind it. String lights Elena didn't remember hung from the trees, casting everything in soft gold. And there in the center of the garden was a painting, her painting, one she'd made months ago, abstract, full of color and movement. She'd told him it represented freedom, becoming. Nathan had framed it, mounted it on an easel, surrounded by candles. Nathan, wait! He took both her hands and she saw he was nervous, actually nervous. Eleanor, a year and a half ago, I went to a wedding I didn't want to attend. I was ready to leave, to go back to my empty life and convince myself I was fine. Nathan, then I saw you sitting alone looking heartbroken, and something in me just woke up. His voice caught. You've changed everything. The way I see the world, the way I see myself. You taught me that love isn't about control or perfection. It's about showing up, being real, choosing each other even when it's hard. He reached into his pocket, and Elena's breath stopped. I don't need to own you to love you. I don't need you to be anything except exactly who you are. He dropped to one knee and tears spilled down Elena's cheeks. So I'm asking, will you marry me? Will you keep choosing this messy, real, beautiful life with me? The ring was simple, elegant, perfect. Elena looked at him, this man who'd seen her when she was invisible, who'd given her space to find herself, who loved her without trying to fix her. Yes, she whispered. Yes, yes, yes. Nathan stood, slipping the ring on her finger, then kissing her like it was the first time and the 1,000th time all at once. When they finally broke apart, both laughing and crying, Eleanor held up her hand, watching the ring catch the light. It's beautiful. Look inside. She tilted it, reading the inscription. Be mine. You already are. Her heart cracked open. The first thing you said to me, she breathed. The first thing I meant with my whole heart. He pulled her close. I'm yours, Elena. Completely. I know. She kissed him softly. I've known since that beach, since you told me about your wife and let me see you hurt, since you gave me space when I needed it and came back when I asked. Best decision I ever made. Letting me go, trusting you to come back. They stood in their garden, surrounded by light and blooming flowers, and Elena thought about the girl at the wedding, lost, invisible, breaking. She thought about every choice that had led here, the painful ones, the brave ones, the terrifying leaps of faith, and she knew. This was where she belonged, not because someone saved her, but because she saved herself and found someone worth sharing that life with. 6 months later, they married in that same garden. Small ceremony, close friends, Sophia as maid of honor, crying through her entire speech about second chances and sisters who teach you what strength looks like. No one from Elena's mother's side of the family came. It hurt less than Elena expected. Nathan's vows were simple. I promise to see you every day, in every way, for the rest of our lives. Elena's were simpler. I promise to let you. They danced under the string lights as the sun set, and Nathan whispered against her hair, happy? Completely. No regrets? Only that I didn't find you sooner. We found each other exactly when we needed to. And he was right. Years later, Elena would tell their story to her students. Not all of it, but the parts that mattered. About being invisible and finding yourself. About love that gives space instead of taking it. About family being something you choose, not something that chooses you. And always, always, she ended with this. Someone will see you. Really see you. Not the version you perform. Not the person you think you should be. Just you. And when they do, don't run. Don't hide. Be brave enough to let them love you, because that kind of love, the real kind, it doesn't take. It gives, it doesn't demand, it asks. It doesn't fix you. It witnesses you becoming. She'd pause, looking at faces young and hopeful and scared. And if you're lucky, if you're brave, you get to love someone like that too. Someone messy and real and perfectly imperfect. Someone who sees you back. Then she'd smile, that secret smile that said she knew exactly what she was talking about. Because she did. On quiet Sunday mornings, Nathan and Eleanor still went to that diner where he'd told her about his past. They'd order pie and coffee and sit across from each other, talking about everything and nothing. Sometimes they'd see couples arguing, young people on first dates, families struggling through meals, and Elena would reach across the table, taking Nathan's hand. "Thank you," she'd say. "For what?" For whispering "be mine" to a girl who didn't think she deserved to be chosen. "You chose yourself first. I just got lucky enough to be there when you did." And that, Elena thought, was the secret. Not being saved, being seen, not being fixed, being loved, exactly as you are. Some riches can't be bought. They're earned by the heart. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of love, redemption, and finding yourself along the way. Would you have been brave enough to walk away from your family for love? Or would you have stayed in the shadows, invisible, waiting for permission to be happy? The choice is always yours. Make it count.